Hello friends, let's talk about today's essay topic. So if you have taken your exam on 13th of February and you wanted to say that what topic was there in the exam and what should be the main ideas that should be written in that particular topic. So let's have a look towards the topic first. The topic was, nowadays some older people choose to live in retirement communities with other people rather than living with their adult children. Is it a positive or a negative development? Okay, so if we have a look at the question basically is talking about that the old age people these days, they prefer to stay in the retirement communities. Now what happens, the retirement communities are basically the places where all the old age people, they live under one roof. Okay, and instead of living with their children, they prefer to live in the retirement communities, or they might be prefer to live in old age homes. So this trend is gaining popularity these days, and we're supposed to discuss, is this a positive development or a negative development? So in these kind of questions, what basically happens, they present a social change before us in the form of question prompt. So this is a social change that is happening and that is getting popular day by day, and the change is senior citizens or old age people, they prefer to stay in retirement communities and where they get the company of other old age people. Right, and they do not prefer to stay with their children. So we are not going to discuss that why it is happening and all. We need to talk about whether this is a positive or a negative development. Now what happens whenever we have these kind of questions before us, whenever the question want us to talk about any kind of social change, the social change that has been prevailing in major part of the world. So we basically need to discuss, is it a positive or a negative? Okay, and the next thing that I would ask you to keep in mind is, whenever you are writing your essay for IELTS, so don't go for that emotional mindset. Instead of going for an emotional mindset, you need to go for the practical or for the realistic approach of the topic, that what exactly is happening and what might happen in years to come. So with that mindset, with that open opinion, with that open mindset, we're supposed to write our essay. Okay, so that is what I'm going to discuss today with you. So instead of just asking that no, it is a negative approach and I think that old age people should stay with their families, but actually what happens when we start writing these kind of opinion, we don't get enough ideas. If you have your opinion, right, that's perfectly fine, you can go for it. If you want to say this is a negative development, you can go for it, but at the same time you need to have the logical supportive argument. You should have main ideas plus supportive argument, but if you do not have, you need to change your opinion. So the most important is, once you start writing, before writing, just decide which opinion you should choose. So in today's topic, I have chosen that I think it is a progressive approach, or I consider it as a welcome trend. Now why do I consider it a welcome trend? That I'll be going to discuss. It might be another way around also, but keep in mind, whatever you will be writing, you must have the strong and logical reasoning for that. So if you have the strong reasons, everything is perfect. I won't say that if we'll be talking about a negative development, that's wrong. No, that's not the case. That would again be accurate and you'll be scoring good points for that as well. Okay, but in this one, I'll talk about a progressive approach. How? The first that I've taken, like adults, if I talk about adult children, they are basically busy. So undoubtedly, they are engaged, they are busy, they are occupied in earning bread and butter. So bread and butter means to earn their living. Okay, so what happens in the society these days, that the old age people, they get retirement and they basically stay at home, and the adult children or adults, they go out, they spend significant part of their day outdoors. Why? Because they want to work hard, they want to work with heart and soul, and they want to earn money. They want to earn for themselves, they want to earn for the children, and they want to earn for their parents. So they are busy in, or they are occupied in earning bread and butter. Might be in other way around, we can say they are immersed in career progression. Immersed means busy. Again, they are busy in their career progression. They are working day and night, might be. So they have a lack of time to look after their aged parents. So it doesn't mean that they are not interested. They are interested. They want to spend time with their parents, but they are bound with their work responsibility. So work responsibility come as a priority because obviously they need money at the end of the day. So since they do not have sufficient time to spend with their parents, so parents, they at home, they stay at home, they feel alone and they feel isolated. So if they are staying at home, since they don't have any work, they are retired now, so staying at home alone, isolated, they might develop some mental or psychological problems. They might start having, like they might start developing negative tendencies, negative feelings. They might go into depression. Why? Because they are at home, and basically they are not in that kind of physical state that they might be working throughout the day. They might be doing something like any physical activities, any household chores, they might unable to do. Okay, so they'll be at home, might be they are sitting idle and they have no one else to talk to. Okay, so but if I talk about in other case, if they are staying in retirement communities, what might happen? So whereas in retirement home, in old age homes, in retirement communities, so these kind of places, they organize social activities. So many social activities are organized on the daily basis or on the periodical basis, and these social activities are their priority. Okay, so in these social activities there might be exercise classes, there might be musical events. So there are so many activities take place where old age people, they spend quality time with their peers. Peers means age mate, with the people of their age group. Since you know that most of the people who are of the same age, their interest would be more or less same. Okay, so when they are in the old age home, they are surrounded by people who are in the same boat. Okay, so they'll be spending the quality time, they might be cracking jokes, they might be attending that musical events, that classical music that everybody likes in that place. They might be busy in doing some light exercises. Okay, so and at the same time they might be feeling nostalgic. Feeling nostalgic means they might be recalling their young days, their childhood days, and they can share their stories with each other. Okay, so in that way they'll be having something to do every time, and if they are doing something, it means they are keeping themselves active and cheerful. So keeping themselves physically active and emotionally active, right? So they'll be interacting with their age mates, they'll be talking to them. So it's going to benefit in two ways. The very first thing, since they are at home alone, they might be feeling depressed. So if they are with other people, they'll not be feeling depressed. Then they are physically active because they are participating in social activities. So participation in social activities will keep them active, right? So this is the foremost advantage. So it should be considered as a positive development. The second we talk about, like during emergencies. During emergencies, like parents, they are at home all alone, they have no one else to look after them. So if they are at home and if any emergency come across, like such as they slip on the floor or anything, so they need immediate help. However, children, they are busy at their workplace, and it really becomes next to impossible for them to reach at home all of a sudden. There might be a long distance between the workplace and the home, so they cannot reach on time immediately. So if they are there in the community centers, if they are there in the retirement communities, there are health professionals. They are available at that time 24/7. So if they are under the health professionals, obviously they'll be provided all the emergency help and their life can be saved. They can be provided with all the necessary treatment. This is about emergencies, but now we'll talk about what happened in the routine life. Needless to say means it's quite obvious, or admittedly, or there is no iota of doubt. It goes without saying that. Okay, so needless to say, like senior citizens, they need frequent medical checkups and regular medicines. So we cannot deny that if someone is old, they might have developed some kind of problems like cardiovascular diseases, might be related to blood pressure, might be some other issues they'll be having. So if they have some issues, they'll be on regular medications. They'll be taking medications on the daily basis, plus they need medical checkup, frequent medical checkup. Okay, now what happens in the case of children, adult children, again they are busy, so they don't have that much of time and energy to take them on the medical checkup again and again. And at the same time, we cannot deny that medical checkups are important, significant. So frequent medical checkups and regular medications, they are needed. So what happens in retirement communities, health professionals are there, and these health professionals, they keep a regular eye. They keep on monitoring their health, they keep on monitoring whether they are taking medicines or not, and if there is any other kind of help that is needed, they are there to offer their professional, expert advices, guidance and support. Okay, so in that way their health can be improved greatly. Right, so this is how we have discussed that in the case of emergency, they can get help for the regular medical checkups, medicines, they get improvement, they get encouragement, they make friends. So they make friends, they have a lot of people around and they all are of same ages, so they can share their stories, they can share their same interest, and in that way they'll be feeling an active part of society. So that is the change that is needed in the society. So we need to come out of that orthodox mindset that people are having, and this is what we are going to talk about, that some people claim that if aged people are living in retirement communities, they might be feeling homesick. So feeling homesick means they'll be missing their children, they'll be missing their grandchildren. Okay, so they have spent their like entire life with their children, seeing them growing up and expecting them to give sufficient time with them, but that's not possible with the busy life. Okay, so they might feel homesick and they are away from their children. Okay, so this is what a temporary state of mind, that is what some people think. But what should be there, this problem can be fixed. And how this can be fixed, like since children, they do want to stay with their aged parents, so they can make a weekly visit, might be weekly visit, might be twice in a week. So whenever they get the time, they can visit over there, they can visit to their parents, and obviously meeting with them would cheer them up. Okay, so old age parents, what they want love, they want affection, they want some time. So that love and affection, that time, children can devote in the communities. So why it should only be there in home, where throughout the day, like for 24 hours a day, they are all alone. It might be for 10-15 days, out of these 24 hours, they will be having the time from their children. So why for these 10-15 minutes, they are spending their entire day all alone at home, looking at the door every time that someone would be coming and talking to them. Okay, so I don't think so that is a good idea. Okay, so in that way we can talk about that this is a positive development and we need to continue with it, and we need to change our own mindset, and we should accept these kind of changes openly and wholeheartedly. Okay, so this is how you can present the topic. And if you want to see like how you can write your introduction and how you can start your body paragraph, so I have already made a video of template, the video format, how you can write your introduction, that I have shared in the description. So you can check that video, that will really help you to design your entire essay. Okay, so I hope this will help you. All the best.